It was like, gonna have a pop at music.
Imagine that, nuts.
If I want something, just go and get it.
There were no UK street superstars.
So if I didn't do this, I don't know what I'd be doing.
For 10 years, GRM Daily has been at the forefront of UK grime and rap culture. And for the past 12 months, I've let the cameras in for an exclusive 4-part series for YouTube Originals. We get into the birth of the scene, the launch of Grime Daily, the big ups and the massive downs from the last decade, right through to the global success and recognition we all enjoy today. Together We Rise is the full uncensored account through my eyes, along with artists and big hitters from across the genre. But right here, in a special episode, I'm giving you something special from the likes of Stormzy, H, Miss Banks, Wretch 32, Tiny Temper, and more. So first up, let's take it right back to the beginning. It's a long road to the top, so here's a few lessons on how we got started. Get inspired.
I grew up in a house where music was played 24/7. Like, you slept and you woke up and there was music playing. My whole life, I always wanted to just make things, whether it be origami. I was in with origami. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was that kid, I had the origami books. I used to want to make things all the time, make stuff. So when I got to, I don't know what year it was in school, on the keyboards in the music room, you could record like 3 or 4 tracks. So you can record a little drum pattern, a little thing. Like, when I realized I could do it, when I thought, oh my God, you can do it, it gassed me. And then from there, my dad built me a PC, put it in the front room of my house because he didn't want me to obviously have the internet or have access to a computer. I was a little kid. Put it in the front room of my house, and I don't know how or where, but we got Fruity Loops put on there, and that was it. From there, it was gone.
Before I'd done music, I was working in retail, and in school, I don't know, I was a bit better with like the physical and practical stuff. I didn't really enjoy sitting in lessons and like taking information in. I always loved music, grew up in a really music-orientated family. But yeah, when I was 18, I lost my job, and my friend was like, you need to get in the studio, you're getting old, even though I was only 18, yeah. So that's why I started taking it seriously.
Sounds corny, but the School of Grime basically taught me. Pressing up records, going to record shops, making money that way. So I followed that trend, and it just kept evolving with the times. Like, whatever was what I needed to do, I just wouldn't wait for no one. I think me being African as well, like my parents are very kind of, just kept me on a humble level. I always knew that I had to work for things. I'm not going to be able to just sit down and it's going to get given to me. So I think all of that just rolled into one, just giving me that drive and that work ethic that if I want something, just go and get it.
We was just giving out mixtapes really that time, like giving out CDs, just putting music on MySpace and that, YouTube videos, but YouTube videos weren't really popping then, you know what I mean?
It was mainly like family that inspired me to make music. So my dad was producing a lot, and the times that I did get to see him, I would listen to these beats and whatnot and think, oh, like I want to be like him. There's always a Superman. And then my mum used to sing a lot as well, so it was just the perfect combination. And when my mum used to take me to church, I used to want to join the choir. And when the church clock that I can sing and my school clock that I can sing, I was like, yeah, I can sing.
The pivotal moment for me came when I was doing my apprenticeship. I was in Leamington Spa with like 17 other apprentices. I was the only black kid, the only person from London as well. I was with kids from Yorkshire, Newcastle, Scotland, like all over. So that was like a proper learning curve for me in terms of like coming out of the ends and like knowing about just like life and society. Got moved to the Crawley head office to like be an engineer there and like work in the office, and then it became quite tedious for me. It wasn't stimulating, and I'm someone I get quite distracted when I'm not stimulated, so my passion for music was just growing. It was like I just need to do something, and then one day I just quit. There wasn't like an opportunity, like it wasn't like there was like a record deal, or like it was like, nah man, just quitting and gonna have a pop at music, which is fucking mental now that I think about it.
Ownership, authenticity, and a bit of DIY. Don't let rest on your laurels. Just get out and do it. You know, labels are great if they get you, but if they're not, you can still make it happen. And there's alternative ways to work in this industry, and you just have to find your own route. Everyone's is going to be unique, and I'm not saying that that's going to work for everyone, but you should understand that there's options.
Whatever gets you to the top, whether it's work ethic, raw talent, business knowledge, or plain luck, you're going to meet some barriers. And despite all the privileges living in the UK brings, one common theme I noticed is that it was hard to get the respect you deserved as a UK artist. The British talent was out there, but it needed to be heard.
There's definitely a good community spirit. Like some people, you could get support from someone that you've never even met in life because they're somewhere else in another city in the UK, but they're understanding your pain, where you're talking from, and then people are supporting each other and people are helping each other. We're going to festivals. This guy's coming out on this person's show to feature. This girl's singing on this person's track, and everyone's working together, you get me?
Literally, growing up, everything on your TV was from America. We watched Kenan and Kel, we watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch, we watched all the cartoons, Doug, Rocko's Modern Life, all these things, Power Rangers, like everything was just America. And you didn't think this is America, you just, because you're a kid, I always say this now, and I've got a child now, I know this as well. As a child, you don't question stuff. You didn't think, you just watched it and took it in and like, oh, this is sick. You know what I'm saying? So growing up, we never thought, oh, there's no UK stars, like there's no young UK male or female like teen star that I can want to be like or want to ever meet, or you know what I'm saying? You didn't even think it. You just lived and you just thought, okay, I know that Biggie and Tupac, and I know that, you know what I mean, 50 Cent, I know Eminem. You just that's all you knew. You didn't think why.
Around that time, people were hearing the likes of 50 Cents and the Brandies and the Monicas, and all of the American R&B and hip hop was like a real big export on those channels outside of like, I guess probably like UK pop music and dance music, house music, yeah. So I think when I first started seeing those kind of videos, I was like, rah, he kind of looks like me, but he's like living some way better life, got a different accent, he's got this. We can't be these people because we're not the same. But then when I started to see So Solid, when I started to see the DJ Lux, the MC Neats, Oxide and Neutrino, which then I guess slowly started evolving into more of like a grime thing, pirate radio sets and all that. But yeah, I think at that stage, that's when I was like, rah, these people look like me, they sound like me. They're shouting out ends that I know and that I've been to, places that I've been to. This is sick, like, maybe I can even do this.
Being a part of the UK music scene, you have to be trusting of everybody else because one person can't build this thing. One person can't, you know, fly the plane. Like one person can't do this by themselves. And so you have to be trusting that people you've never met before from different sides of London and outside of London and UK or wherever, anyone that's really celebrating UK music is going to do it properly. It's hard. It is hard to create something in a scene that is starting from scratch. We are setting the precedent now. You know, there aren't any blueprints to follow. As much as people say we should have a UK version of this, it's like, it's not going to work. We're a completely different land. We're different people.
But the UK is, well, London is very multicultural, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, GRM's London-based. We have a melting pot of all different types of people. It comes out in our music. We're heavily influenced by our backgrounds, our heritage, and all the people around us. So I'm from Ladbroke Grove, obviously, heavy Moroccan culture around there. I'm heavily influenced by that. You might be from Brixton, heavy African/Caribbean influence, you know what I'm saying? Could be from North, heavy Turkish influence, I don't know, wherever you're from, it plays into your music, you know what I'm saying? So with that in mind, that's why UK music's so open and so willing to try everything. And obviously we're the fashion capital, you get me? So I don't have to say the man's name's drippy because the man, you see what it is like.
If you look at even streaming numbers, and this doesn't just apply for the UK, this applies for France or even places in America, people are now listening to music that kind of sounds like them or that, you know, is more local to them. So the UK is drawn to UK rap now in a way that it's never seen before. Regionally, we've never, and I'll hold my hands up if I'm wrong here, but we have never had so many regional rappers at such a high level, whether it's H, Bugsy Malone, we've got Millions, Mist, Miss La Familia's there now, Lady Leisha, obviously.
The UK scene is mad, innit? It's at a mad point, obviously, because I'm not as old as a lot of people. It's always been popping in my eyes, in a way, you know what I'm saying? But right now, it's mad. I'm seeing all these Instagram posts with certain man collaborating with certain other man, like Americans and all that, and it's just all, everything's coming together, everything that everyone was saying maybe last year or the year before, like, oh yeah, this needs to happen, this needs to, it's just slowly happening, you get me? It just takes time.
Proof that Cream rises to the top. It might not have been an easy ride, but UK artists are finally getting global recognition. Whatever their struggle, whatever their success, doing this documentary series has shown me that although we're all standing together as UK talent, no two stories are the same. And it was us all doing something different and contributing all towards the same goal that finally gave us the recognition we were chasing.
So Solid changed my life completely. Before that point, I was acting from when I was 6 years old. I was doing West End theatre, radio plays all up and down the UK, adverts, whatever. My friend said to me the other day, I posted something, I completely forgot about this. I posted a picture of me when I was young. It was on my birthday, when I was about 6 or 7. And my friend put a comment, he was like, bro, I remember you these days. And we had show and tell at school. And he said, everyone else brought in like a toy, or this or that or whatever, and he said, you brought in a video. And he said he just remembers the teacher wheeling out this TV, you know, the TV that was on wheels and wheeling it out into the front of the classroom, and me putting this video in, and it was me in a McDonald's advert. It was the first McDonald's advert for Happy Meals ever in the UK. And I was in that advert dressed up as a hippie, and the toy was garden seeds and little tools and stuff to plant seeds or whatever. If you notice, like throughout my career, especially on TV, I've always moved on. I don't want to do serial TV. I've never wanted to do a series more than once because I wanted people to call me Ashley. Majority of the kids just want me to be Top Boy, to be Dushane, do you know what I mean? I feel like I'm Adam Woodyatt, Ian Bill, because that's all I get now. You know, if you see Ian Bill at EastEnders, that's Ian Bill. Do you know what I mean? And now I'm getting called Dushane. But it is what it is, man.
I only knew what the Mercury was because Miss Dynamite won it the year before. I just remember it being a bit overwhelmed. It was like a big kind of like swanky affair. Classy. It was a different vibe to what I was used to. I didn't even know how big they were at the time. After I won it, I then remember going home and then waking up in the morning and the press downstairs with the cameras and all that, like a bunch of them, and saying we're not leaving until we get our interview. And I remember, like, what do you mean you're not leaving? This is the council estate. Like, you're baiting up my yard. That's what I was thinking. Like, what you do? Like, why won't you go? I remember getting very angry. I'm called Daniel, and he came, calmed me down, and then just went down there, gave them a few words, and then they went away. I think that's the first time I understood how big it was.
Just being able to kind of stay ahead of the change, because the game's gonna change every day. Like, the game's always gonna change. Like, Michael Jackson's gonna have it different from Justin Bieber. Like, Wretch is gonna have it different from Rodney P. Do you get what I mean? Like, the game's naturally gonna change. And I think more than survival of the talent, it's probably survival of the genius. And it's just who knows how to always stay ahead and who anticipates what the switch is gonna be and how do you work around it and why do you have to exist and why do people still have to come to you? Like, these things are key. And I think the clever and the talented ones are the ones that figure these things out and remain. That's why you have GRM Daily 10 years later.
I got the feeling that the people at the top were panicking and the people coming from the street just saw opportunity. That's what it felt like to me at that time. And I'm supposed to be able to, like, make music. You know, it was easier than ever to make music. It was easier than ever to make videos. Then you've got this situation where, okay, you can make your work and people can hear it pretty broadly. And if you're doing something interesting, they can access it. And if you're doing something that doesn't fit, they can access it.
I remember meeting Stormzy very early. I was at the World Music Awards in Monaco. I had no idea what you could do with this kid because like he's like a 7-foot kid, freestyling. Like there was nothing, I couldn't tell you what to do with him. I just knew it was good. I played it to a bunch of people, like just excited, like, have you seen this, basically? Do you know what I mean? And then I met with him a couple of times. I've never seen anything like him and I couldn't quite place what it was. I just knew it was special, but I couldn't quite place what it was. And clearly he was special. He's the guy.
When I was on the Glasgow stage, I felt like I was representing us. I felt like I was representing the culture. That's all I can do. I felt like I was putting myself at a disadvantage if I went out there as one man, like as in, oh, I'm Stormzy and yeah, like it's me, like one man up. No. I was like, that's great, yeah, man can do that, but it will be a lot more powerful if I do it with the spirit of like my brothers and my sisters and every single person who's kind of made it possible for me to be here today.
To see young kids basically in their first year of fame having the finances to be able to change their situation of where they live and some people around them and make some of their friends tour managers, engineers, DJs. That's amazing. To see how everything's flourishing now, like it's a beautiful thing to watch.
It's a blessing to see black talent shining through. And personally, an even bigger blessing is that I got to be a part of that. Along with SBTV's Jamal Edwards and Link Up TV's Rashik Asari, we've helped push a generation of artists into the spotlight. And while some people might just see us as rivals, I'm happy to say it's 100% love between us. Most of the time.
But I'll be real, sorry guys, I'm not gonna share that one. I've had the best presenters. No, Harry Panero, yeah, cool.
Check my CV.
But when we're talking about Bafishas,
exactly.
Bafishas, come on, bro. Everything needs a home, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like we were able to come together even though it was separately and create a home for like artists. It was like there were so many great things that needed to blossom, but there wasn't like a specific home for it. And I think it's been the right types of people behind all these platforms. I like to see these people as peers, comrades. I'll even go as far as to say my brothers. These people have helped change my life because of their work ethic and because of their dedication and because of their passion. You know what I'm trying to say? When I've been down, they've been high. That's made me want to climb higher. They'll come out and tweet, this Link Up has had 100 billion views this week. Better than all our competitors. Oh my God. I was like, yo.
Read me straight.
I was like, I used to have to call and say, yo, Rash, chill. I need to pay my mortgage this month, you know what I'm saying? He was, yo.
On it.
For me personally, in the next 10 years, I just kind of want to see everyone growing personally as the people that they are, but also opening other doors for other people to come in as well and take our journey further than we've already taken it. Well, one time, I ain't gonna say his name, but he's quite renowned, and I sent him on a shoot, and he filmed, he went to the shoot, and he left his memory card, yeah? And he pretended to film the whole shoot.
I did done the same thing.
And then,
I haven't been there.
And then
I'm not experienced.
I called him and I said, yo, how'd it go? He said, yeah, well, I left the camera. I left the memory card. So I said, so what did you do? Did you go back and get it? He said, no, I just pretended. I was like, fam. So then I had to explain to the customers and that. And then,
that is a finesse.
Yeah. But it was like,
I've not.
But coming from where we were coming from, even though that was proper mad, no one else thought it was mad then. Like he thought that was okay. Like, he was like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm happy to say that the setup's a bit more professional these days, but the story goes way deeper than that. Together We Rise covers the birth of GRM Daily from starting up to being shut down, from the rebirth to the ascent, right to being #1, as told by my peers and friends. Stormzy, Miss Banks, JME, Crepton Conan, AJ Tracy, and all those hard-working individuals that make this all happen. Check it out.